Hi, Laquietta.
Hi.
How are you today?
Fabulous. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm really excited to sit down with you today because I will, first of all, love working with you. And I'm really curious about kind of your background as a school counselor and how that affects your position here, and also like your vision for my job. So that's kind of my plan for
Well,
today.
I'll tell you this. I'm so excited that you are in our office. I have been praying for you for a long time.
Well, now I'm going to cry.
Because, my background as a school counselor, I knew we needed a therapist on this campus just because I know what's coming in, the students and all the things that they're going through and just having that extra support and stuff. And I'm just glad to have you in my office. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but you asked about my school counseling background.
Yeah.
I was a high school counselor for 19 of my 27 years of education. I retired at 27 years. 19 of those years I was a high school counselor. 6 I was, a geography teacher and a coach. And then 2 I was like a split counselor for middle school and an intermediate school prior to becoming a high school counselor. But that was my end goal.
And you started when you were 12, right? Because you don't look old enough to have retired.
Yeah. Well, now you're my best friend. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel like that background prepared you for where you're at now?
Oh, 100%, 1,000%. Because, when I learned about this job, I read the description and all the requirements and all that stuff for the job description and stuff, and I thought, this is a lot of what I do already.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Even the discipline part, I'm not a disciplinarian as a high school counselor, but I did give a lot of tough love.
Yeah.
And those kids knew I meant business. But when a student, and that comes that this is here also, when a student knows you love them and care about them, you can say whatever you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they
you
will
build that rapport first,
Absolutely.
and then you have credibility.
That's right. You don't come in just blazing and telling them what to do and whatever, because they will not respond well. But if you, and I genuinely do care. So that's part of that counseling background, school counseling background, that I do empathize. I do care. I do love them, and I want the best for them. So that's where that comes in. And I feel like this job is exactly that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the Lord handpicked you for the position that you're in because you're really cool. First of all, you are. You're really relatable, and you don't take yourself too serious. And I love that about you. And I think that makes you approachable to students.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Hey, I had a kid tell me the other day in the cafeteria, I like your fit, Miss Laquietta. I'm like, all right, thanks.
Hey, that is high praise.
I know.
From this generation.
I got to remember this outfit. I got to wear it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
But I appreciate that. That's how I want to be. I want to be approachable. I want to be, that person that anybody can come to.
Yeah, and people notice that. Like, that doesn't fall deaf on people. Yeah. People pick up on that, and they can tell who really cares.
Right. Oh, yeah.
They can see
Absolutely.
through to that. So.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when I see clients, I see them in their most vulnerable moments. What do you notice when students are in your office and you sense that they're kind of in a vulnerable place? How do you handle that?
With love, and care and listening, because I have students come in with a lot of vulnerability too, and I appreciate them, coming in and just being raw and telling me, what's going on, and good or bad. And I make it clear that I'm not judging you. I'm not thinking any less of you. Yeah. So, I have students cry in my office sometimes because they're hurting about something or they got in trouble, and I try my best to make them know that, hey, this is a learning experience. Here we are. Let's do better,
Yeah, I really feel like our roles overlap. They're different. No doubt they're different. Like, I'm not going to enforce sanctions or anything like that. There's no discipline from my office, but I do feel like our roles overlap in that sense. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%. That's why I love you being in my office area, and just being a part of student affairs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One thing that I love about being in the student affairs office is getting to see the hustle and bustle with the students, and they just come in and feel comfortable, literally like lay down on your couch, you know.
We get some that are a little too comfortable. Yeah, but it's fine.
I think that speaks to just, you know, the relationship that you've cultivated, and the approachability that you do have. I think that's really cool.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because that's a goal.
One thing, even just my short time being here, that I've noticed is that students are discovering their identity apart from like their family of origin for the first time. You know, this is brand new for them, and there's a lot of pressure to get it right. Why do you feel like students are hard on themselves, and what struggles do you see students facing that maybe you didn't expect?
I can talk from some experience of myself being here long ago. You know, I was a first-time college student from my family. You know, no one in my family had been to college. I did not know how to study, and so those things, when they get here, you know, we know this. I mean, there are a lot of first-generation students here, and then we see that they're struggling in their academics and things, and that's where we all need to team up together as offices and you know, even the coaches and everybody, and get these kids on the right track, because they're here for a reason and for a purpose, and we just really we've got to target those students so we can keep them here, not for our sake, but for theirs, because it's life-changing, and I can speak from personal experience of that. So
yeah, and it's part of like the development of not just like learning responsibility, but like exploring who they want to be.
Absolutely.
You know, more than what they want to do. You know, it's what kind of person do you want to be? So,
and there's a lot of that. I mean, and they'll change. They'll, you know, change their majors, change this, change that. But, you know, and that's normal, totally normal. And so, you know, them struggling with that and thinking, oh gosh, I changed my major, I'm an idiot. You know, quit thinking like that, because it's normal. Yeah. Okay, it's all normal. So
there's a book I really love called Try Softer, and the whole premise is just like, we're just hard on ourselves, we're hard on other people, we're hard on circumstances, life. When life disappoints us, you know, we just have hard thoughts about all of that.
Sure.
And so the whole approach is just be gentle with yourself, with others.
Oh yeah.
And the title is actually Try Softer. So that's something that I actually kind of teach to myself often. Even this morning, you know, just running around the house trying to get ready really fast. So I was just like, just cool it, man. You know, like just take a breath and just be soft for a minute, and work will be there when you get there.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's part of their learning experience. They have to learn how to do that too.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, they got, you know, the young people, I'm just saying like a grandma here, but they go, there's a lot, you know, between social media, the pressures from peers and all the things. I mean, they go through a lot, and sometimes they feel like we don't understand, but you know what? We've all been there too. And, you know, farther, you know, away from parents and making our own decisions, and sometimes not the best of decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
you know, but there's always a way to be better.
Yes. And well, and I think Try Softer, you know, that's like a life motto, you know, maybe, but it's just been having grace, you know, having grace, and learn, you know, you learn from your experiences. You do better, but you have grace for yourself.
Absolutely.
So
I'll have to read that book.
I'll let you borrow it.
Okay,
I have
great.
it on my shelf.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so what are some things that make it really easy for students to reach out for support when you feel like they're struggling?
Well, I mean, I can honestly speak for campus wide here. I mean, I feel like our offices, any of our offices, are open door. You know, I really do. Especially student affairs, because that's what we're here for. But, you know, if there's something they need with financial aid or business or whatever, I send them over and they bring them in and go through everything with them. I don't feel like anybody's, you know, closed the door and said, come back later, I don't want to talk to you. You know, I feel like if these students realize how much most of these people that are working here were students here at one time, and we are so open to help you through this process. So, you know, yeah, there you go. I feel like that's just, they just got to reach out.
What do you hope students remember most about their time here?
Well, and I'm going to speak from personal experience here too, because and that's why I came back, you know, or I know God brought me here. That's the biggest thing. But even feeling comfortable coming back is because this place is special. It is, it's like no other. You know, we've got the people that work here, the professors that are, you know, teaching their classes. It's personal. And I feel like what you need to leave here with is just remembering that you went to a college that really cared about you, really wanted the best for you, and those things like that. So, and have some fun. I mean, we try to have a good time. You know, our Office of Student Affairs is rocking and rolling with some stuff. I mean, Jessica Colley is like the party planner of the year. And so, you know, and Stephen Nelson and all his RAs. I'm just saying there's things to do. There's people to hang out with and friendships to make. And that's where I made my lifelong friends is in college. So, I mean, and you know, high school too, but still. Lifelong friends in college.
Yeah. Well, these are really formative years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you are exploring adulthood for the first time.
That's
and
right.
It's just
supposed to be the best years of your life. I was always told that. Best time of your life in college. So make the best of it and let's have some fun.
Yep. I love that. So the whole point of today, and I feel like you've really captured that really well, is that not every support role on campus is therapy, and that's okay. But I love that students have multiple safe adults, not just one, and that all together culminates and cares for a whole person. And whenever the whole person, you know, every facet of a student's life is addressed and tended to and cared for, that is what creates good mental health, you know. And I love your heart for students here. And I am honored to be part of that, you know, part of the student's journey and to get to work alongside you.
Well, thank you. And I want to say something about you, if that's all right. I appreciate your positive attitude and coming in with a smile. And even when you're very busy and coming out, you know, because I know counseling and things can be strenuous and exhausting. And, you know, especially when you really care and empathetic for students, it can really, you know, wear you out in a way. I say that in a kind way. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But I appreciate you coming in and with your heart and your smile and your eagerness to take care of these kids. So we appreciate you. I'm thankful you're with me.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being on this podcast today.
Yeah.
This has been really special.
Yeah. Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah.